If I were moving back to San Francisco today, I would not move to my old neighborhoods. And honestly, if I had to do it all over again, I'd make completely different choices. I grew up in San Francisco, spent my childhood in Chinatown, then moved to the Portola district, and eventually my family left for the Peninsula, San Bernal, then San Mateo where I live now. And while I love San Mateo's downtown and weather, there's something about the city that still pulls at me. I'm Wilson, your Bay Area real estate insider. And in this video, I'm breaking down exactly where I'd move if I went back to San Francisco at this stage in my life and why. I'll walk you through the 5 neighborhoods I'd seriously consider that balance family life and city living. Plus, I'll share where I should have lived in my 20s and where I see myself as my kids get older. If you're thinking about moving to San Francisco, or maybe you're a Peninsula resident like me, wondering if city life could work for you, this is the video for you. Now, as much as I love living in San Mateo these days, San Francisco shaped who I am. And sometimes when I'm bored of the Peninsula, I wonder, what if I move back? You see, I grew up in none other than San Francisco's Chinatown. Dense, vibrant culture on every corner. Walking distance to everything. Dim sum for breakfast. School a few blocks away. My parents' friends all within a 10-minute radius. But as a kid, sometimes it felt overwhelming. No yard, sharing a room because space was tight, so we moved to the Portola district. Still San Francisco, but completely different vibe. More residential, actual parking spots, houses with driveways. It felt suburban while still being in the city. The duality taught me something. San Francisco isn't one city. There's like 50 micro-cities smashed all together. Eventually, we made the jump to San Bruno for better schools and more space. The classic Bay Area family migration. Then San Mateo for the perfect Peninsula life. Downtown restaurants, Caltrain access, great weather, right in the middle of everything. But here's what nobody talks about. Even living on the Peninsula, I'm in San Francisco constantly. Dinner and a mission with family, meetings downtown, Giants games or Warriors games, concerts, and every time I cross that county line, part of me thinks, what if I just lived here again? The city has changed massively since I left. Some neighborhoods got insanely expensive. Others actually became family friendly. And with remote work now permanent for many, the old rules about where families should live don't apply anymore. So why would I leave comfortable San Mateo for San Francisco? Let me be real with you. First, the commute situation. Even from San Mateo, driving to and from the city constantly, I've added commute time from living on the Peninsula instead of being in the city. It adds up. Some nights I'm sitting in 101 traffic thinking, if I just lived here, I'd already be home. Second, the social reality. Look, the Peninsula is great for families, but when it comes to nightlife, it's pretty limited. Most of my friends I grew up with are still in the city. After 9 p.m. on the Peninsula, your options are basically go home. Meanwhile, my friends are grabbing late dinners in Mission or different parts of town, or catching shows, or hanging out at different spots that are still open. Sometimes I wonder, what am I missing out? Third, and this one's an interesting one. San Francisco single-family homes just had their strongest year in the entire Bay Area for 2025 and over the last almost decade. And what about the narrative about San Francisco dying? The data shows otherwise. Houses are moving, prices are up, and the gap between San Francisco and Peninsula prices are actually narrowing. A home in Burlingame, $2.8 million. Some San Francisco neighborhoods, you can find something solid for $1.5 to $2 million. But the biggest reason, as my kids grow, I've got a 2-year-old and a newborn soon. I'm thinking ahead. In 10 to 15 years, they won't need huge yards anymore because they're not going to be here. They'll need experiences, diversity, and culture. The Peninsula has great schools, but San Francisco has life education you can't get in the suburbs. Alright, if I had to pick neighborhoods that perfectly balance city living with family needs, it's Noe Valley and its neighbor Glen Park. And look, I know what you're thinking. These are so expensive, but hear me out. First, let's talk about what Noe Valley actually is. It's basically a small town dropped into the middle of San Francisco. 24th Street is the main drag. Coffee shops, boutiques, restaurants, the works. But it's not touristy at all. It's locals getting their morning coffee at Bernie's, families at the farmer's market on Saturdays, kids everywhere. Glen Park, just to the south, has a similar village vibe but slightly more affordable. The little downtown area around Diamond and Bosworth has everything. Canyon Market for groceries, Giolina for pizza, and a BART station that gets you downtown in 15 minutes. It's like Noe Valley's quieter cousin. The weather in both neighborhoods is key. They sit in this protected pocket where the fog rarely reaches. While the sunset is soaked in fog, Noe Valley and Glen Park are sunny. That matters when you have kids who want to play outside. What about the school? This one is huge. Both areas have actually good elementary schools. Alvarado Elementary in Noe, Glen Park Elementary, both highly rated with strong parent communities. Plus tons of families mean tons of kid activities, sports leagues, music classes, art programs. Housing-wise, you're looking at Victorian and Edwardian homes, many with small yards. Not peninsula-sized yards, but enough for a playset. Noe Valley prices range from $1.8 million for a smaller home to $3 million for something really nice. What about Glen Park? You might save $200,000 to $300,000 for similar homes. The walkability is insane. In Noe, you've got Whole Foods on 24th, countless restaurants, multiple playgrounds. Glen Park has the BART access plus all the local shops. My friend who lives in Glen Park hasn't driven in weeks because he doesn't need to. Between BART and walking, everything is right there. Also with Waymo and equivalents, you really don't need a car. So what's the downside? Noe can feel a bit precious, a bit too perfect. Some call it Stroller Valley for a reason. Glen Park is more diverse but can feel isolated if you don't have a car. But if you want city living without sacrificing family comfort, these two neighborhoods could be your best bet. Now, if Noe Valley and Glen Park feel too polished, too expensive, or too homogenous, let me tell you about the Richmond, both inner and outer. This is the neighborhood combo that surprises everyone. The inner Richmond runs from Arguello to about Park Presidio, between Gary and Fulton. The outer Richmond continues west from all the way to Ocean Beach. Together, they're literally sandwiched between Golden Gate Park and the Presidio, two of the best outdoor spaces in the entire city. The diversity is real. Clement Street in Inner Richmond is like traveling the world. Russian bakeries, Chinese restaurants, Korean barbecue, Irish pubs, all over a couple of blocks. Gary Boulevard in the Outer Richmond has even more. Some of the best dim sum outside of Chinatown. My kids will grow up experiencing the world just walking to school. Speaking of schools, both areas feed into some solid elementaries. And you're close to French American, SF Day School, and other privates if that's your route. The Outer Richmond has Presidio Middle School, which has really improved. But here's the kicker. Housing is actually attainable here. Inner Richmond, you can find a single-family home for $1.5 to $1.8 million. Outer Richmond, even better at $1.3 to $1.6. Condos for $900,000 to $1.2 for something larger. For San Francisco, that's really a deal. The weather varies. Inner Richmond gets less fog than outer, which can be completely in fog during the summer. But honestly, if you're from the city, you kind of miss the fog when you move out of the area. There's something cozy about rolling in while you're warm inside. Plus, if you want sun, you can just go to the east side of town. Clement Street is your commercial strip for the Inner Richmond. Dim sum at Hong Kong Lounge, books at Green Apple, beers at the bitter end. The Outer Richmond has Balboa Street with tons of family-friendly restaurants and cafes. For families, you can't beat the access to outdoor space. Playground at Julius Kahn, hiking at the Presidio, picnics at Golden Gate Park, Ocean Beach for Outer Richmond folks. Your weekends are set without leaving the neighborhood. Alright, neighborhood number 3. Bernal Heights and the Southern Mission are where I'd move if I want something edgier than Noe Valley but still family-friendly. They share a border along Cesar Chavez and have the perfect mix of urban grit and family comfort. Bernal Heights sits on its own hill, Bernal Hill specifically, which gives you incredible views and a huge open space right in the middle of the neighborhood. Dog walkers, kids, runners, all sharing the urban wilderness. It's pretty special. The Mission, especially the southern part of Bernal, has transformed. Valencia Street gets all the attention, but the area around 24th and Mission have become this incredible family pocket. Cressida Park has a great playground, and the whole area has more kids than you'd expect. Cortlandt Avenue in Bernal has the main commercial street. Less fancied than 24th and Noe, but more interesting. You've got dive bars next to artisan bakeries, old school markets next to trendy restaurants. The Mission's 24th Street corridor has even more, from Latin American bakeries to trendy coffee shops. Both feel real in a way many San Francisco neighborhoods don't anymore. The community in both areas is tight but different. Bernal has this progressive artistic vibe with tons of families. The Mission is more diverse culturally and economically, the kind of places where there's both a community garden and punk rock venue. The diversity is what I want my kids to be exposed to, even though the city is so accessible. Housing in Bernal is more affordable than Noe. You're looking at $1.4 to $1.8 million for a home. Many homes have yards, parking, and even views. The Mission varies widely, $1.2 million for a condo to $2 million for a home, depending on which exact block. The schools are improving rapidly in both areas. Plus, you're close to several charter options as well, and the parent communities are super engaged. They basically transform the local schools through involvement. Weather-wise, both are warmer than you'd think. Protected from ocean wind, get good sun. Bernal especially, it's like its own microclimate up on the hill. The downside, Bernal is a bit isolated transit-wise. You're not near BART or major Muni lines. The Mission has better transit, but some blocks can be rougher. But if you're driving to the Peninsula for work, both are actually perfectly positioned. Okay, this one might surprise you. West Portola and the adjacent St. Francis Wood. These are technically San Francisco, but feel nothing like it. And that's exactly why they work for families. West Portola is basically a suburb that happens to be inside city limits. Tree-lined streets, and single-family homes with real yards, driveways, and works. If you showed someone from out-of-area photos, they might guess Burlingame, not necessarily San Francisco. St. Francis Wood, right next door, is even more exclusive. Bigger lots, grander homes, some of the most expensive real estate in the city. The main strip along West Portola Avenue has everything you need. Grocery stores, restaurants, coffee shops, and even a movie theater. It's like a little downtown. Very walkable for daily needs, but you're definitely driving other places. Here's what's brilliant about this area: the schools. West Portola and St. Francis Wood feed into some of the best public schools in the city. Elementary through high school, solid options. These alone save you $40,000 per year on average compared to private school tuition. Housing varies, but West Portola you can find really nice homes for $1.6 to $2.2 million. St. Francis Wood, you're looking at $2.5 to $4 million for these mansion-style homes with huge lots. And these aren't cramped homes. Real yards, real garages, we're talking 2,500 plus square feet, real yards and real garages. For San Francisco, that's really unheard of. The Muni Tunnel means you're downtown in 20 minutes. K, L, M lines all stop here. You get suburban living with actual city access. Best of both worlds. The downside, it doesn't feel like city living. You're further away from downtown in the east side of town. But if you want to technically live in San Francisco while basically living in the suburbs, these two neighborhoods are your spot. Alright, Dogpatch might be the most interesting neighborhood in San Francisco right now. And if you don't know it, you might know neighbor Potrero Hill. They share a similar sunny industrial turned residential vibe. This is where I'd move if I wanted something completely different. Close to the Giants at Oracle Park, the Warriors at Chase Center, and right in the middle of the city's biggest transformation. Pier 70 is becoming a $3.5 billion development. The old Potrero power plant is getting 2,600 new homes. We're talking about a neighborhood that's literally tripling in size. The vibe here is unique. Old warehouses converted to lofts, new high-rises going up, restaurants like the Ungrafted and Bread Belly opening weekly. It's flat, rare for San Francisco, sunny, the best weather in the city, and actually building housing. For families, it's interesting. Crane Cove Park just opened, beach access, playgrounds, the works. The 22nd Street Caltrain gets you to the Peninsula in 15 minutes. You're looking at $1.3 to $1.8 million for a house, or new condos from $900,000 to $1.3 million. The restaurants here are incredible. Pacino for Italian, Hard Knocks for soul food, and a new standard Deviant brewery. Plus, you've got the Minnesota Street Project for art galleries. It's like the Mission was 15 years ago. The downside? Schools are still developing. You're likely going private or charter, and it's a bit isolated from the rest of San Francisco. You're not walking to other neighborhoods easily, although you can walk to downtown in 30 to 40 minutes. But if you want to be a part of San Francisco's future, not its past, this is ground zero where there's a lot that's changing. Now let's mention some bonus neighborhoods. I have to mention the Outer Sunset and Parkside, because this is where real families actually live. Not tech millionaires, just regular people making it work. The Outer Sunset runs from roughly 19th Avenue to the beach. Parkside is the southern part below Terraville. Both are fog heavy. Let's be honest about it, but you literally are blocks from Ocean Beach. Your kids could grow up as beach kids. The diversity here is incredible. Sunset Boulevard has everything from dim sum, Korean barbecue, Irish pubs. The area has this old school San Francisco feel that's disappearing everywhere else. What about housing? This is the deal. You can find a house for $1.2 to $1.6 million. Real houses with yards, parking, space for family. That's $500K to $1 million less than comparable homes in Noe Valley. The schools are solid, not spectacular, but solid. Sunset Elementary, AP Giannini Middle, and you're near several good privates if needed. The N Judah and L Terraville get you downtown in 30 to 40 minutes. Not fast, but doable. And honestly, most Sunset families rarely leave the neighborhood. Everything you need is right here. If I had to make San Francisco work and I had a bit of a budget, this is where I would look. Now let's rewind. If I was 25 again, just starting out, completely different story. I would go to the Mission without question. Yeah, it's changed, it's gotten more expensive, but I would argue it's still the most dynamic neighborhood in the city. Valencia Street on a Friday night, Dolores Park on Sunday, taquerias open until 2 a.m. That's the San Francisco experience. Or Hayes Valley. It's central to everything, amazing food scene, walkable to downtown. The energy there is perfect for young professionals. Fast forward 20 years, kids are gone, it's just me and my wife. Where would I move then? Part of me says Russian Hill or Telegraph Hill. Those views, the history, walking distance to North Beach and Chinatown. I would get a 2-bedroom condo or maybe 3, forget the yard because I have parks, and embrace city living fully. But honestly, I keep coming back to Richmond as well, specifically around the Presidio. Quiet but connected, gorgeous walks, amazing food, amazing history. Maybe one of those condos overlooking the park. Or here's a plot twist. Or maybe I'll stay on the peninsula but get a small condo in the city. Quiet suburb life when you want it, city energy when you need it. Look, let's be honest about moving to San Francisco and what it means today. The city has real challenges. You hear about homelessness, property crime, some neighborhoods are really rough. The schools, while improving, aren't peninsula level across the board. You're paying a premium for less space. But, and this is a big one, the narrative about San Francisco being homeless-ridden or not the place to be is overblown. I'm there weekly or bi-weekly. Most neighborhoods are fine, great even. The city is resilient and recovering. For families specifically, you need to be strategic. Pick your neighborhood carefully. Have a school backup plan. Be comfortable with less space. Embrace city life fully or you're gonna be miserable. The financials matter too. Yes, San Francisco is expensive, but factor in what you save on commuting, the experiences your kids get, the culture at your doorstep. For some families, it pencils out. After all this analysis, here's my real take. If you're considering moving to San Francisco with a family, visit these neighborhoods extensively, not just Sunday afternoons. Go on a Tuesday morning, a Friday night, see the neighborhoods in reality. Don't move for the prestige or the idea of city living. Move because the specific neighborhood fits your specific needs. Consider your phase of life. Young kids need different things than teenagers. Your 40s are different from your 60s. Choose accordingly. And honestly, the Peninsula San Francisco divide is overblown. They're 15 minutes apart or a little bit more. You can have one life and visit the other whenever you want. Maybe that's the real answer. So would I actually move back to San Francisco? Some days, absolutely, especially if I'm sitting in traffic traveling there. Other days, I look at my yard in San Mateo, the ease of suburban life, and the parking abundance, and I think, nah, we're good. But that's the beauty of the Bay Area. These aren't irreversible decisions. The city and the suburbs are so close, you can change your mind. Try city life, retreat to the suburbs, or vice versa. Or pick up an Airbnb and experience either one. If you're thinking about making a move to San Francisco or anywhere in the Bay Area, reach out to us at theownteam.com/YouTube or email hello@theownteam.com. I know these areas and neighborhoods inside and out. I spent over 30 years living in the Bay Area basically all my life, and I'll give you the unfiltered truth about what works for your situation. If you want to see what 1 million or 2 million gets you in the Bay Area, or compare different Bay Area cities, check out our other videos in the channel. If you have feedback for us, leave it in the comments or reach out to us directly. Thank you so much for watching our video. See you on the next one.